This video is one of the most exciting wars I have seen in a long time. INTZ versus Tribe Gaming, a 5 versus 5 war. Single attack format, so you will get to see every single one of the attacks, and wait until you see it, guys. It was incredible from start to finish. You're going to love it, so let's dive into it. Tribe Gaming and INTZ, we are in. Nick attacking first, and we guessed it. You guys guessed it live here for the stream. We were predicting what attack strategies people might use, and we know how good Nick is with the drag bat. And it is what he's using. It is his specialty. So let's see if he can get this done. Struggling to get these cannons down, which he obviously wants for pathing. Decides to send another balloon in. And now the heroes come forward. One more balloon for that cannon on the other side. With the super wall breaker, Nick obviously desperately wanting his heroes onto that inside. Now, it's a little bit unfortunate that the single locked onto the king, but it doesn't really matter because he gets such good value with the freeze spell onto the queen, onto the single, and onto the scatter shot. Queen goes down. She gets then the single and the scatter shot, so the Sui portion is successful. A good start for Nick. We then have the Royal Champion down to the bottom area. Bit of a Sui Royal Champion, but alongside the giant baby dragon and the balloons. Let's find out what value he gets from this. Ability used because of that single target inferno and a dragon to clean and set the funnel. Very, very good to get that cannon, because that will help with pathing as the dragons move through. Nick has got everything he wanted at this point. We do now have the dragons with that clear pathing in towards the center. Now, we know that another expert in the game with Dragbat is Marinol, and he is on defense. So has he tested his base against this? Dragons slowly making their way to the town hall. We've got a couple of skellies that might distract them. That could be really it could really be disadvantageous for Nicholas as he moves through here. Does get the town hall down. We've got the bats coming around the top of the base now. 2 wizard towers on the back end, 3 freeze spells, one of them used for the scatter shot. This is not what he wanted in terms of the bats losing track, moving around the base, but he gets the job done, gets through 2 of them, freezes the next wizard tower. It's not looking too bad. We've still got another freeze. Oh, he's froze a wizard tower. The other one is actually distracted, look. The wizard tower was on the bats, was on the dragons. They get through. Oh my goodness. I can barely even speak right now. Nick is tearing through this base with the dragons, but unfortunately, towards the end, it's not going to happen for him. He still has 3 dragons left over. Warden takes a hit from the black bomb, but unfortunately for Nick, it's not meant to be. It's a brilliant attack, a good one to start us off, but it's not what Tribe wanted. So INTZ now have the opportunity to take the lead. Marinol might even come in with the Dragbat himself, and Tribe are slightly below that 90% that we might want, but only just. It's 88%. Ozzy attacking Lex Nas, and it is with the hybrid, one of the strategies that we know Lex Nas is very comfortable with. So again, has he built his base to defend this? We will find out. Starting off with the Queen Charge. Couple of balloons just to help in this area, take out a few of the defenses, finds the Tesla farm down here, but I think Ozzy was predicting that. It's pretty clear that the Teslas were going to be in this region, so I think Ozzy knew that was coming. Does he want his queen on the inside of the base here to the town hall? Because she might not go in. She's gonna walk. Using the king and the wizards, I think she'll walk into this inside. So he didn't want her around the top. Did want her into this bottom area. Gets the king in just in the nick of time. INTZ will be giving it everything they have here versus Tribe Gaming. We know this rivalry from the World Championships. He might want to pop this king's ability to draw the queen, but fortunately, the Lava Hound on defense will indeed stall the queen for a little bit. It pops, and we have the 1 archer to help with the healers. So everything working like clockwork at the moment. It looks pretty good for Ozzy. It looks pretty good. Getting the pathing set up, getting the value from this Queen charge as well, quickly freezing the Town Hall because the healers are positioned to where they would take damage. Town Hall goes down and now comes the hybrid. The Hogs and the Miners straight into this scatter shot. It will go down incredibly fast because the King was tanking it, and that is exactly what Ozzy needed. But how good is his pathing? Maybe the siege barracks could have been used a little bit further round because the Hogs and the Miners don't necessarily get pathing through the base brilliantly, but look at this. He has managed to help take down the back end scatter shot with the Queen charge. That could be huge moving through here. We get one single. If we can get the back end single, it could be good for INTZ. That will protect the Royal Champion. Queen goes down. Healers switch. 54 seconds. We're into the final quarter of the attack. Royal Champion will get the single. The ability is used, but he's got a lot of Miners and Hogs. This looks good for Ozzy of INTZ to take the lead over Tribe Gaming. And unfortunately, despite a nice drag bat attack by Nick, it's not enough. 2 stars are not going to win this war for you. When you have top players, you need the 3 stars. And Ozzy of INTZ is going to do just that. A beautiful 3 star. So now Tribe Gaming have got to respond. The drag bat again, this time by INTZ. So Nick had quite a varied attack. It looked good, then it really just hit the ground towards the end. Very dramatic scenes in that opening attack. INTZ feels he has a little bit more confidence with the drag bat, and obviously with this base wants to use it to his success. Opens up the multi-inferno compartment at the bottom. That's very nice to get his Queen in. Notice the grounded expos as well. That will take some damage from the Queen, but he obviously just wanted the multi and a little bit help with the pathing here moving through. So now that he's done that, the baby dragon over to the 3 o'clock area with the Royal Champion in towards that air defense will help massively. Get a couple of loons there, my friend. Yes, there we go. Onto the Archer Tower and a couple of dragons, which will then slowly move from 3 o'clock down towards this area, where we should probably then see the dragons all coming in at 4 o'clock. Has the archers in the clan castle pulled that dragon a little bit too much? Gets a little bit fortunate, you've got to say, with the 1 black bomb getting hit onto the balloon. So INTZ fortunate to find that, but nevertheless, dragons coming through, and it looks good for him. Stone Slammer pops, using that rage, getting pushed back here though, and he's going to use that Grand Warden's ability relatively soon. The sweeper is indeed frozen. Grand Warden's ability will be used over the Town Hall, catches every single one of the dragons as they move through. It's looking good. Ice Golem has to take down the mortar up to the 11 o'clock area of your screen. That will then allow the bats through. He starts them. Interesting, because the Wizard Tower will turn, but he's frozen it alongside the air defense. INTZ obviously is worried about time. He's not going to wait of the Ice Golem to freeze the Wizard Tower, and he just gets it with the bats. He's not going to... Oh, he's not going to get the Wizard Tower in time. I thought he did, but the Wizard Tower shot halfway across the map to the bats. It's now a matter of time. 55 seconds. Did INTZ start the bats too early? I've got a sneaking suspicion that he might have. He might have started them too early. Had he have been able to take out that mortar, tank the Wizard Tower with the Ice Golem, and save the extra freeze for the other Wizard Tower, I think it might have been a better result, but it's difficult to say. With only 30 seconds left, it's still only a 2-star for Tribe Gaming. It's not the percentage that will build upon Nick's attack. It's lower than that. It's still into the 80s, so it keeps Tribe Gaming in this, but if INTZ were to get another 3-star, then guess what? Tribe are starting to sweat, and they need to make sure that they start getting some 3 stars, because moving into the back end of the war, if you are behind by more than 1 3-star, then you are not in a good position. Let's just put it that way. But it's 83% for INTZ. INTZ coming in with the Yetis, and for this one, again, if it were a 3-star, Tribe Gaming are well on the back pedal. We know INTZ have got the talent and the capability to get this one, but we also know the talent of Tribe. Their roster is stacked. Let's just say it how it is. They can very easily flip this war and win it, and we're only a couple of attacks in. There's still plenty of time for them, but this one is a good start with that Grand Warden walk, just creating the funnel to the left-hand side. We will probably see the same to the north or the south, depending on where he wants the Yetis in from. And then we can pull the Grand Warden with the Yetis. So another balloon comes in, catches a black bomb indeed. So that's really helpful for the healers. And check this out. Onto the Town Hall. INTZ recognizing that the Grand Warden can take out the Town Hall in this base, so that is a flaw in the design. King creating the funnel, and now the Yetis can come in. What this does is preserves the Grand Warden's ability. It can be used deeper into the base. As we get towards the scatter shots, we don't have to worry about it with the Giga Bomb. So a very nice use of that Grand Warden walk by INTZ, and timing wise, he's still on point here. You only want to use around about a 1 minute Grand Warden walk. Everything nicely pushing through the base now. Not having the ice golems in the CC means that he's able to keep the force moving through. Look at all the Yetis and bowlers moving into the back end of the base. If he can get to that back end scatter shot, this could be history, and it really means that Tribe Gaming will struggle. Queen locks on and she takes it down. Yeti's getting flung off by these spring traps. Now there is still a chance as the Hog Riders and Royal Champion come in from the top area. How crucial is that giant bomb? We've still got the Queen's ability, we've still got the Royal Champion's ability, and it could still happen. Royal Champ's ability will ping through some of these defenses, but the Queen has got to get a little bit more value. 1 minute left. It's not looking likely because we've got a cannon, an archer tower, and a Tesla to the other area, but the Royal Champion still has her ability. As she steps across, it's going to be close. The archer tower is tanked, takes down the Queen, uses the ability, takes down the defenses, and there you go. INTZ are going 2-3 stars up. What an incredible start to this war. Tribe Gaming scratching their heads, not knowing what they could do here. Wow, 20 seconds remaining. We will get the final building, and INTZ get their second 3-star, which means Tribe have got to turn this around. Eve check with the hybrid. And we need to see a 3-star from Tribe Gaming. This is the halfway mark. The third attack is the halfway point. INTZ 2 stars up and already ahead on percentage because currently they have 100% total destruction. It doesn't get much better than that, but we know how good Evechek is. Played for Tribe Gaming throughout the World Championships last year, and one thing I know about Evechek is if you give him a plan for a base that is a solid plan, he will execute it perfectly. So here we go. 4 expos behind the Town Hall is pretty dangerous, especially for a Queen charge. Evechek pulling off one of the most risky maneuvers that you could possibly think of. Queen charging 3 grounded expos. He's going to hit the Town Hall as well. He misses the healers with that rage. That's crucial because it will mean that his ability might need to be used earlier than we thought, but it doesn't because he freezes the expos instead. Now, was he planning on using that freeze? I'm presuming that he probably did. The beauty of this is, although it's a risky move, Evechek has now got rid of the expos. There's no high damage fast defenses onto the hybrid. We've only got the scatter shots to deal with, and he's got great pathing to them, so it looks very good. Let's check it out on more of a zoomed screen. As the hybrid gets to the first scatter shot, they move to the eagle, and then they will move straight to the next scatter shot. This looks brilliant. Oh no, oh no, they get caught on the enemy Queen, so they're not going to the scatter shot. They will get there eventually, but it's not what Evechek wanted, and it will mean that that's a valuable few seconds that he did not need, and getting to the back end single This is important in terms of the base because the enemy queen, or the attacking queen, sorry, cannot reach it. She would have to walk all of the way around. Now again, granted these aren't the best bases from each of the clans. They will very much be saving them for the World Championships, but potentially testing bases, testing parts of bases, and this is where that back end single comes in handy because the Archer Queen, as much as she has the ability, she will not get through this area. Healer's getting picked off. Again, it's a good percentage for Tribe, but they need a 3-star. The score will be 6-6, and that is with an attack left over for INTZ. So they are really putting themselves further and further ahead, and if they can get another 3-star, then it means that Tribe have to go flawless, and INTZ then need to make a mistake. If you needed anyone to get a 3-star, Marinol, team captain of INTZ, is the man for the job. If he gets the 3-star here, it means that Tribe cannot catch up, even if they get 2 3-stars. It means that INTZ then need to make a mistake and get a 1-star. So this is a crucially important attack. And I know how solid Marinol can be under pressure. Take last year's World Championships, for example. In the qualifiers against Nova right at the end, despite it not looking good for INTZ, Marinol crushed it with Lavaloon and got the job done convincingly. For this one, he's going ground. It will be the Yeti attack, but think about that previous one we watched and how overwhelming it was. Marinol slowly getting his Grand Warden to wipe out some of these buildings and give him good pathing towards the Town Hall. He won't be able to reach this with the Grand Warden walk, but he should be able to path to it. Now this is interesting because he will be entering from around the 10 o'clock area, so just funnels everything to the Town Hall, and he's not going to get into that compartment. He's going to try and sideswipe it. So that means that the Gigabomb won't do as much damage. King creates the funnel down to the bottom. Is that a mistake on the jump spell? No, it's not, because we have the wall open. I did see the super wall breaker coming in, but hiding behind the air defense, we couldn't see that wall open. Not to worry, Marinol has it covered. Gets his troops in. Getting close to that Town Hall. Yetis aren't quite activating it. The Queen is there as well, but with this time the Ice Golems being in the Clan Castle, that's where the Yetis are now getting stuck. Previously on the attack, when we didn't have the Ice Golems, the Yetis could power through. They weren't getting frozen, but in this attack, they were froze dead in the center with the scatter shots doing work, and that is where the attack now falls to its knees. Marinol with 60, closing on 70%. If he can get this single target, it might be helpful, but good base design, putting it slightly out of reach, so the Queen would not get to it. Royal Champion's ability will clear the Tesla area, but again, the single will be the defining factor here. He's got a freeze spell, he's got the hogs. Wait a second, guys. Wait a second, Marinol is going to get the Hog Riders from the Clan Castle to take that out and ultimately get another 3 stars. This means that INTZ now would have to make a mistake to lose the war. What on earth must Tribe Gaming be thinking, and can INTZ get a perfect war? Hex for Tribe Gaming wants to use the Yetis because he sees the success that INTZ have had with them. We know how good they are and that they can get the job done, but at this point, Tribe Gaming have to now just focus on their own gameplay. They need to get 2 3 stars on the board, and they need to hope that one of their bases holds out the 1 star. They've got pretty good percentage, so if they were to get a 1 star, if INTZ got a 1 star, likely the percentage would then lie in Tribe's favour. But with 3 3-stars, is it really that likely? We will find out. Hex driving everything in. He started the Yetis relatively early, so we shouldn't really have to worry about a time fail. Earthquakes come in, but notice how he has not entered the area with the back end scatter shots. Did he want to? Or did he not want to open that compartment? I can't see why he wouldn't have not wanted to, but there's not a lot of direction for the Yetis here. They're getting wiped out in the middle by the scatter shots, but there's not a lot of pathing for them. They can go in each and every direction. The battle blimp comes in from the left-hand side. That's a really interesting approach because it's just going to pop in the center and reinforce more Yetis. I'm not sure what the plan was with that battle blimp. I think maybe it could have definitely been used up to the top area here a little bit more successfully. Maybe there was something we didn't see over to that area. Yetis had gone down, granted, a lot in the center, and Hex does indeed get the scatter shots, but again, we've got a single target Inferno to deal with. Now, we've got the Queen's ability. Does she go through the wall here, or does she continue through? That's the question. And also, does he have enough time? He's got 4 wizards, which he should really be getting used down at the bottom, but actually going all out for the 3, he's trying to save the wizards to use on the defenses when they are distracted. Irrespective of taking the defenses, you got to remember that percentage as well. Looks like we are deploying wizards down to the bottom now. Queen going on the outside here. No, she's stepping in. Means she can still get the single. 50 seconds. It's not out of the question, but it's not looking likely for Hex. Uses the ability. Will get the... Oh, no, she goes to the gold storage. Get the single, Queen. Now she does. Takes that out. We do have the skeleton trap pops. That will slow him down even more and give the Archer Tower time to take down the Queen. So, unfortunately for Tribe, keeps the percentage up, but it's not going to happen. So now they would need 2 1-stars from INTZ. The question now more lies at not who is winning this war, but are INTZ going to get the perfect war? Are they showing you that they are ready? They mean business for this year's World Championships. We will find out. They're coming in with their next attack, but this one is 87%. Bernal attacking with the Queen Charge Hog Riders. We know the experience of Bernal. He's been on the big stage over and over again, and he is the wall-breaking master. But this time he's gone with the super wall breakers. Now, I really like the couple of hasted loons. I always feel like when that is used, it's a very effective method. It takes down the single in this case and ultimately sets the pathing for the Queen. Now, I feel like this is something that's often overlooked because we just default to the Yetis in the blimp. Now, the Super Wall Breaker does indeed open up access to the Town Hall, but will also open up access to the single. Luckily, gets the King out of its radius, so that helps him out massively. A little bit fortunate there, you've got to say, for Bernal, and now it gets back in front of the Queen. So he won't have to use a freeze or the Queen's ability. She will get down into the Town Hall. This is a very good Queen charge. The King set up the funnel, then moved back in to protect the Queen. Let's check out the damage that she will be taking in the center of the base. We'll get the Town Hall, then we'll go for the enemy heroes, and shortly we will see the Hog Riders, presumably from 3 o'clock, with the siege barracks to help set up. Although granted, you could come in from either direction. It is a symmetrical base. Where is Bernal going? Gets the CC pull. Is going to have both of the scatter shots tanked. I feel like he needs to start the hogs relatively soon here. There we go. Because what this will do is mean that he still has the central buildings tanked by the Queen. And there's a good chance the Queen will go down. So he needs to ensure that he keeps the value. Oh no, the Ice Golems are going to the Hog Riders. He's got to get the scatter shot. Does use the Grand Warden's ability perfectly over the 2 giant bombs. And they soldier on, but the Queen goes down. This is not looking good. The second scattershot has the healed Hog Riders. We've still got the Royal Champ's ability, but we've got to get this scattershot. This is the main thing now. Hog Riders spread around the base, has the Rage, has the Royal Champion. It still could happen for him. It's looking ever more likely with more Hog Riders getting reinforced from the bottom. Are INTZ keeping their perfect hopes alive, continuing to take out defenses. We've got 30 seconds. Can he get to the inside buildings to get this one done? We still have the Royal Champ's ability. 30 seconds indeed. Taking out the outside buildings. It's all about the center now. 20 seconds. 95%. INTZ keeping the pressure. Wanting the 3-star. They don't just want the victory. They want the perfect. And there it is. Bernal keeps it on track. 3 stars and 1 attack away from a perfect war. INTZ meaning business this year for the World Championships. Lex Nas, feeling like the Dragons are going to work for Tribe Gaming. Persistent with them. Frozen Dragons. This is pretty interesting. We've got sweepers pointing up to the north. We've got single target infernos that can be frozen. Can Tribe Gaming at least get themselves a 3-star? Keep their confidence up. Again, this isn't a World Championship qualifier. It won't be the best bases, but confidence. Psychologically, think about it. If INTZ were to perfect Tribe Gaming, then Tribe have to face INTZ, potentially in a World Championship qualifiers. That is incredible. The psychological impact that will have is pretty intense. Lex Nas wants a 3-star here to limit that damage. Gets the cloned balloons in, just about misses the scatter shot. That could be huge. Sui Hero's the one to the right, misses the one to the left, but nonetheless, the pathing here for the Dragons is pretty intense moving through the base. He's got brilliant base identification for the Dragons to get through. Now just uses a couple of them initially to create the funnel so that they don't get lured up towards this gold mine, and that's where the 1 minion comes in. The Dragons will now meet with the others. Grand Warden comes through and he does catch a black bomb already to the Dragon. He's got to be careful with this. Catches another one. This is where INTZ might have baited the Dragons into this bottom area. How many black bombs will he hit? He's already had 2. Gotta get through a scatter shot. Dragons slowing en route to the town hall, uses the ability early and thankfully uses it because a black bomb goes off on the Grand Warden, continuing to freeze the single target infernos. I thought that one would have got frozen because it was charged up and ready to go onto the Dragons. This is not what Lex Nas wanted. He's only at 70% and his Dragons are going down fast. I see the plan here, but it just didn't work out, and the black bombs really threw a spanner in the works, and it shows the traps on defense and how it can spin things around. So Lex Nas not quite getting this one done. INTZ hold up again, but now is the pressure even greater? Despite winning the war and winning it comfortably, is the pressure now even greater? Can they keep themselves mentally in check to finish this one out with a perfect war? Let's find out. Budweiser of INTZ wanting to finish off with the Lava Loon. We know that the Lava Loon can work. We know how good INTZ are with the Lava Loon. And this is for the perfect. King finds a couple of Teslas to start off. A few more balloons will get the mortar. Slowly move to that Tesla as well, wanting to get this area. Clearly wanting to sui the Queen in towards the multi. Presses the King's ability early. This is actually pretty good because he creates the funnel, but also finds the tornado trap, which will mean his Lalo doesn't have to deal with it. An Ice Golem coming in, but the Queen could walk here. She could go around the side. Is she coming in or is she walking? Queen has to come in, gets a minion or 2 or 3 onto the builder hut to ensure she goes in, and that was very crucial. Top play with them 3 minions, otherwise she could have gone around. Uses that Queen's ability. Will he get the enemy Queen? This is what he wants. Get it, get it, get it. Oh, he does! He does indeed get it. Budweiser gets exactly what he wanted, and the efficiency of that is incredible. Whenever you can get exactly what you want using the minimal amount of troops and you've planned it perfectly, then that is the best efficiency. And Budweiser, you've got to say, going for the perfect war, off to the perfect start here. Royal Champ takes down this other area, gets a wizard tower, will get the air defense as well. Unfortunately, gets the CC pull, which he didn't want, then starts the Lalo with a battle blimp. We're seeing an Electron now in towards the scattershot. This is incredible. The base is getting picked apart before we even start. Look at it. It's nearly gone. 50% of the base is down. Scattershot down. Eagle Artillery down. Queen down. This looks incredible. Budweiser putting everything for the 3-star. Unfortunately, a couple of the balloons are in range of the Gigabomb, and that leaves the cannon and bomb tower active, which could be dangerous as the balloons path in. He's used the freeze onto the town hall. They path down and around. Are they going to get to it? He'll have to use the Warden's ability early. That is a perfect Warden ability because it gets both packs of balloons. Manages to get the air defense and the multi. Can they get through the Gigabomb? They don't, but it might still be enough due to the effectiveness of the attack. Splash damage is down. We've got a few other balloons. 30 seconds. I think that this is going to get it done. The Archer pulled the Lava Hound to the top. 23 seconds. Is it enough time? Is it going to be a time fail? Oh no! INTZ are really so close to perfecting Tribe Gaming, but in the end, a time fail is what cost them. He couldn't have really saved the Grand Warden's ability any later because then he wouldn't have got both packs of it either. The complexity of the attack was incredible, but it just wasn't enough. However, 98.6%, 14 stars for INTZ, comfortably getting the victory. What an incredible war.